Hello class and welcome to part 2 of rocks and minerals. In this section we'll be going over the rock cycle. Now a rock is a solid material composed of one or more minerals. A rock that has two or more minerals mixed together is considered polymineralic, and a rock that's composed of a single mineral is considered to be monomineralic. So rocks are classified based on how they're formed. Okay, and if you look at the top left-hand side of page 6 in your Earth Science reference tables, you'll see the diagram that we'll be going over in this lesson. So the rock cycle is a continuous change from one rock type to another rock type. And that's what we see here on the bottom. We'll be going over each one of these: sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, and igneous rock in this lesson. And then how does one of these rocks turn into a different one? And then also how does it turn back to be itself in a different form? So to cover igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are formed from the melting and solidification of magma or lava. And we'll see igneous rocks on the bottom right-hand side here. So to determine how the rock formed, we're going to read the arrows on the diagram pointed to that rock. So when we look at the igneous rock box, there is only one arrow going to it. Okay, we're going to follow that pathway. Okay, first it must go through melting. Okay, we see the melting from metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock, or igneous rock leads us to have magma. Once the magma, is basically a rock in its liquid form. Okay, once it cools, it'll solidify. Okay, and it'll create an igneous rock. So an igneous rock can be recreated to be a different type of igneous rock, go through melting and solidification. A sedimentary rock can become an igneous rock by going through melting and solidification. And so can a metamorphic rock become an igneous rock by going through melting and solidification. Sedimentary rocks, they have a lot more steps. It goes through deposition, burial, compaction, cementation of sediments. So the word deposition, which is a new word to you guys, deposition, you see the word deposit. Okay, you think about when you go to the bank, you deposit money, you're dropping things off. And we'll cover a little bit more about that word deposit when we start talking about our land surface features. But so deposition means just dropping off. Burial means it gets deep into the earth where there's going to be a lot of compaction, a lot of weight bearing down on it. And then the cementation is just the binding of these sediments to form the rock. Okay, so here's our sedimentary rock on the top left-hand side. Okay, and we see the arrow that's leading to it. One second. Now, it's coming from sediments. Now, like before, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, and igneous rocks can turn into a sedimentary rock. It just needs to follow the path of the arrows. So before it becomes a sediment, these larger rocks will get broken down. This is getting broken down by weathering and erosion. Weathering is just the breaking, as weakening of the rock, and the erosion is going to be the movement of it. Now, once it goes through the weathering and erosion, and you see that's in all three of these rock groups, it turns into sediments. These small particles or sediments of the rocks will go through that deposition and burial, and then compaction and or cementation. Now our next rock group is going to be the metamorphic rocks. They're formed from any rock type due to extreme heat and pressure. And or pressure. So when we look at the metamorphic rock in the bottom left-hand side, we see the arrow going to it. This is the process of how the metamorphic rock is formed. Heat and or pressure. It's metamorphism. When we think of the word morph, it means to change. And that's it for today's lesson. Have a great day.